Moving on. ESPN Daily. Good morning. If there were to be a movie about my life, Tory Barron, whoever the fuck you are, my character arc would probably peak in the summer of 1998. Don't get me wrong, I'm doing fine now, but that summer, I was thriving. My biggest concerns were whether I had fed my Tamagotchi, which Spice Girl was my spirit animal, posh or bust, and how many home runs were being tallied in the race between Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. So when I say I'm ready to revisit the topic, you best believe I mean it. Here's your ESPN Daily. Listen up. The Great Home Run Chase of 1998. It's been 22 years since the great home run chase between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa changed baseball forever. After the strike of 1994 threatened to turn off an entire generation to the game, the tape measure theatrics of McGwire and Sosa during the wild 98 season made fans fall in love with the national pastime again. The latest 30 for 30, Long Gone Summer, which premieres Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN, chronicles the chase between the two dueling sluggers and their vastly different approaches to making history. On today's episode of the ESPN Daily Podcast, Buster Olney reflects on what that summer meant for baseball and how the perception of it changed over the years as the full scope of baseball's steroid problem came to light. Weekend binge reads. Inside a CWS list June. It was 3:07 p.m. Central Time on Thursday, March 12th. That's when the news came down that shook the city of Omaha, Nebraska. While the rest of the world was busy reacting to the cancellation of postseason basketball less than a week before March Madness was supposed to have tipped off, the residents of Omaha, home to the College World Series, were focused on another portion of the NCAA's announcement, the part that read, as well as all remaining winter and spring NCAA championships. That addendum was a gut punch for a passionate subset of college sports fans who treat the CWS like a family reunion. Omaha has hosted the College World Series every year since 1950. Come hell or high water, the show has gone on. That is, until now. That's why, in my wildest dreams, I never thought we would be where we are today. If history has taught us anything, it's that for 70-plus years this event is going to happen come whatever. We have had heat waves, tornadoes, cold snaps. We had a 100-year flood just recently. It's always there, every June. It has been my entire life, like a member of the family. That's how it is for everyone here. So yes, there is a lot of emotion attached to this for so many. Catherine Morrissey, Executive Director of CWS of Omaha, Inc. There's immense emotion attached to the storied event, and there are also severe financial ramifications that accompany its absence. The economic loss for the city of Omaha is expected to be $70 million, but in the end it all comes back to the fans and the city's unique connection to the college baseball teams, fan bases, and locals. To say there will be a hole in the heart of the heartland over the next 2 weeks would be putting it mildly. Well, that just sucks. All of this sucks. Because it wasn't necessary. That's what makes it so much worse, because it really wasn't necessary. It was a huge overreaction. Mick Foley feels your pain. The toughest man in wrestling history, WWE Hall of Famer and first ever hardcore champion, Mick Foley has chronic pain. This shouldn't come as much of a surprise, considering the body slams, swallowing his own teeth during a match, getting tangled up in the rope so badly that most of his ear was ripped off, concussions, dislocated shoulders, bruised ribs, internal bleeding, a dislocated jaw, multiple punctures, and several damaged teeth he has endured. But Foley, who finds solace by watching the Hallmark Channel in his Christmas room, he has a Christmas room, considers himself to be someone who doesn't suffer from or manage chronic pain. He thrives despite it. So it's only fitting that Ryan Hawkinsmith, who had all 10 toes amputated after contracting bacterial meningitis, would turn to wrestling's GOAT understanding as he strives to navigate the pitfalls of living through quarantine with pain. Every day can be a struggle. Negativity is all around us, including from within. The choice I try to make every day is to go find the positive stuff. Go find it and be alive. Mick Foley. That's nice. Ex-Wake wide receiver to star on The Bachelor. Matt James will be the first black man to star in the role in show's history. Oh, it's that, of course. Things to care about. What college football players really think about returning. At this point, telling you that these are uncertain times would be like stating that water is wet. But while there's been constant discussion of how various leagues are planning to resume after their coronavirus-induced panic-induced hiatus, there has been less discussion of how the athletes feel about their impending return, especially how collegiate athletes feel. College football teams are returning to campus for voluntary workouts with the goal of an on-time start to the 2020 season. But with their return has come a handful of positive coronavirus tests and a new series of questions about managing the virus with a large group of athletes used to being in close proximity to one another. So how do the players feel about practicing and playing without a vaccine in sight? Are they willing to play games in empty stadiums? And what happens if the season gets pushed further into 2021, either because of a delay at the beginning or a mid-season interruption? Could players physically handle 2 seasons in a calendar year? How would that affect preparation for the NFL draft? ESPN spoke to 73 college football players to find out. Hint: while most players don't like the idea of games without fans, they would do just about anything to take the field. See, that's the difference between football and baseball, apparently. Redrafting the NFL. A do-over. It's a concept that doesn't really get a lot of play in the sports world. Nope, in sports, all of our mistakes and shortcomings follow us until the end of time. Man, that sounded bleak. I should probably go outside today, but I digress. In this exercise, every single NFL franchise gets a complete do-over in building its roster. Every single player is a free agent. Salary caps don't matter. One of the worst defensive teams out there could drop a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the middle of its front. Even the worst team in the league has a chance to add a Super Bowl MVP at quarterback. Then again, maybe that last bit isn't so far-fetched. We hit reset on NFL contracts and released every player to the open market. Then we gave our NFL Nation reporters the GM job, allowing them to redraft the foundations for their teams. The results, including Deshaun Watson to the Giants and Russell Wilson to the Redskins, are pretty fascinating. That's not my bag. Things to watch. Taco from range. In an unexpected turn of events, it appears 7'5" Taco Fall has added a step-back 3 to his game. Somewhere out there, Ben Simmons is punching the air. You go, Taco. Okay. Overheard. Hopefully, someday down the line, people will recognize me not only for the way I approach the game of basketball, but the way I approach life as an African-American man. Okay, so hopefully somewhere down the line, you want people to remember you for the color of your skin. So smart. So progressive. Remember when? The North remembers. Saturday marks exactly 1 year since the Toronto Raptors won their first NBA title. If this anniversary serves as a somber reminder that we should have experienced an entire run of playoff basketball by now, I'm sorry. But truth be told, I was already dwelling on it, and you know what they say about misery-loving company. Insert Kawhi Leonard laugh here. Until next time, remember, you know what else was great about the summer of 1998? The release of the Disney Channel original movie Brink, aka the film that brought us the line, "Let's Blade, brah," and Brandy and Monica's iconic duet, "The Boy Is Mine." Team Pup and Suds for life, and that song still goes. Never saw it. This has been your ESPN Daily for Friday, June 12th, 2020. Ba-ba-da.